Okay, so we're going to move. I don't think people know this happens, but I find the fact that this practice exists. So the prosecutors will send subpoenas. Let's talk to Cook County State's Attorney. Will send subpoenas to the CPD, but they are often, because of their experience, concerned that they're not getting, in response, they're not getting all the records. So they will alert the officers they know that are involved in the cases to come talk about the case in their offices, and those officers are instructed to bring records, and they bring records with them to turn over to the state's attorney. Outside of the process, the formal process the police department has going.
Yes.
That to me seems as firm evidence of a major problem, especially considering when you also look at it, the CPD as a organization doesn't know what that officer is turning over to the prosecutors. So they have no way of tracking that. So that was your thoughts about that? Because I was astounded by that finding.
Yeah, so there's absolutely a tracking problem. I mean, that absolutely presents challenges to the notion that the department has could conceivably have a handle on what it has produced. There's a practical reality to that practice. Candidly, I have done that as a prosecutor. I have notified, a detective to come to court and said, bring your file. And then you sit down at a desk and you say, okay, here's what I have in my file. Am I missing anything? So one way to think about that practice is that it is sort of an accommodation of the reality. I mean, people are finding a way to deal with the concern that they are not identifying all records. And so I don't actually ascribe any sort of ill motives to that practice. I think that it's an intention I think people are doing the best they can under what are widely recognized to be less than ideal circumstances. But it is certainly, there are a number of problems with the practice, right? It presents the tracking problems that you identified. It's too kind of manual and dependent on the individual people involved, right, to be consistent. There's an efficiency problem from sort of a staffing perspective. If you have somebody who is either getting paid on their day off or they're taking time that they're not out on the street in order to, drive to 26th in California to bring a folder full of paper, that's a problem. And that's the sort of problem which in 2020 we have, technological alternatives to.